Hi everybody, DK here with Mr. V Amps and a very short video to tell you story time. Okay, this pedal we made on the channel about a year ago. If you take a look at these, you'll recognize them as what I refer to as the world's most expensive overdrive pedal. These are obviously not the world's most expensive. They're not cheap. Kit versions aren't cheap, but it's, a very, very famous, wonderful circuit. So I built this a few years ago. It comes in a plain, unpainted aluminium box with a logo. The new versions they're shipping are actually finished in silver with the same logo, so it actually gives a nicer look over time. You won't get the aluminium creeping crud on it like my original one does. I assembled this pedal earlier today. I took my time and everything went just fine. I assembled this pedal second, got a little overconfident, made a few mistakes, had to desolder and resolder a few components, and then it didn't work. And I was particularly frustrated. So here's story time. I did what's called signal tracing. I took my little audio signal generator, just put a sine wave into the box, and then took my little pocket O-scope, which you may have seen on here, and followed the signal all the way through. And it got to the first op amp, and then it just went down the toilet. So I figured, oh, we probably have a bad op amp. So I pulled out the second op amp, put it in the position of the first, and the first op amp worked. And then I decided, oh, well, I have a bad op amp, I will just go find one. So I checked the parts bin, and I didn't have one. And then I checked all my scrap boards, and it took me a while, but I did find one. Different manufacturer, but the same type of op amp. And of course it was soldered onto the board. It wasn't socketed. So I desoldered it. And then I installed it. And it didn't work. Whenever I put op amp number 2 in, the signal just went to crap. So I figured, okay, the problem must be in op amp number 2 affecting op amp number 1. This is after burning several hours and cursing the sky. It turns out, in my haste, not only did I solder a few components incorrectly that I had to correct, which at least I caught before I started closing things up, but I missed soldering down one pin of the second op amp. By leaving that pin naked, it rendered the pedal entirely inoperable. So I wasted several hours of my life, but I think I learned a hard lesson. Everybody makes mistakes. You can always fix them. You might, curse out the world while you're doing it, but it can be corrected. So now we have two beautiful, ready to deliver to our customer, world's most expensive overdrive pedals. One of them was easy to get going. The other one was a real royal pain in the keister. So, despite the fact that this channel looks like a pile of success and I look like a genius, don't let this deter you. Don't let me feel like a genius all the time. I make mistakes too. I don't film them in great detail and go over great detail of my troubleshooting. There are channels that do that. I try to tell you what I found, but I don't spend forever burning through all of that. If you want to see somebody who, in some ways, has some similarities to the way things really are in a repair shop, there's a channel, Jim Lindenus, I believe is how you pronounce his name, but he fixes old radios. And he shows the entire process, front to back. His troubleshooting, his searching through the circuit, his tuning, his playing with, his fiddling with. And it is almost an hour video every day for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Now, I could argue that maybe he's being inefficient, but at the same time, sometimes troubleshooting a problem does get that frustrating. So when doing electronics, especially when you're learning, don't give up. Even us with years experience still screw up sometimes, especially when we get overconfident. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I have a new sort of invention thing that'll be coming up next.